Alrighty, guys. Oh, wait a minute. Let me turn that off before YouTube has a conniption fit. Alright, guys. Welcome back to 1822 MC Adventures and More. This is my channel, and of course, my name is Pete. If this is your first time here, welcome to the Funny Farm. Today, I'm in the shop working on the dyno. And my assistant down here reminded me that we've worked through lunch and he's about ready for his lunch. So what we're going to do here is we're going to try to heat up some water with an alcohol stove that I used it before, but I just wasn't really impressed with it. I made some adjustments. We'll see how that works. And then I'm going to warm up, I believe it's a number 22 MRE, a beef goulash, and we'll see where that goes. All right, so what I got here is a Pathfinder alcohol stove. Not going to give you the breakdown on it. Look it up. It's a freaking stove. It's about 3.5 inches wide, and it's about 2.5 inches high. It burns like 3 hours, allegedly. Holds 3 or 4 ounces of alcohol. I don't use alcohol. I use heat. Got a brand new fresh bottle here too. I've already filled this thing up, but what I found the last couple times I used it, which was a while ago, that's why you don't see me use it. I kind of was like, damn, I know this thing works better than this. And what I did, I was like, well, it needs some kind of a windbreak, just like in the Swedish mess kit, right? That's why they put that windshield on there, right? So I took a coffee can, a 1-pound coffee can, and I cut the top and the bottom off. And this was the top, which is open, right? So I can put my can in there. This was the bottom. There's a lip there. Or no, I got that backwards, guys. This was the bottom. I cut it out. This was the lip that had the seal on it. And so that way I can put my stove down. I can put that over there. And then, not that I would use this, but then I got a piece of metal there and go something like that and heat my stuff up, right? So, with that being said, let's see if we can't get this thing going. Because I know I was looking at actual Swedish mess kit windscreens. Because y'all know those Swedish mesh kits are like, they act like they're gold plated or some shit these days. But I seen one on eBay for like $16. I was like, man, I'd pay that all day long. Because if you get one of those Swedish mess kits and you have like a Romanian mess kit like I got, or another style of NATO kit, you got to get out a Dremel tool and you got to tweak it a little bit to get it to fit and get it to work. But for like 15 bucks, I could do that. Then I look at it, it's coming from the UK, and they wanted like $32 shipping. I was just like, well, that's completely out of the question. And then it was like 6 weeks to get here. I'm like, you're nuts. So if I can get this thing to where I like it, I'll probably just go ahead and suck it up and get the Pathfinder Swedish mess kit knockoff. Seen some videos on it. I ain't seen anybody that's not happy with it yet, so we'll keep that in mind. But anyways, before I ramble on, what we're going to do here is we're going to heat up some water. And what I got here is my ultralight canteen. Don't fucking laugh. It was a bottle of Gatorade, and I washed it out real good, and I put some duct tape and a piece of cordage on there and hot glued the lid to the cordage. So if need be, I have some duct tape for fire starter. And I got a 1-quart water jug that don't weigh nothing. And my pot in here today is a 15-ounce coffee can. And I popped a couple holes in it and put some swivels in there. And what this was this is a stainless steel fishing leader. And I fished it through there and made it work so I could hang this from a stick if need be. And I got my handy dandy grabber that I got from a friend of mine. Appreciate it, Eddie. So I can manipulate this without spilling and burning. So, and this is just a military canteen pouch. Don't really like it, but it works for what it is. So let's set this aside and let's bust this open. This is, for those that don't know, this is a Czechoslovakian officer's attaché case. This is my River Country Products stainless steel cup. We've got number 22 beef goulash. Sorry guys, I got lost in space here. All right, let's do it this way. So I got my cup out and I've got some hot chocolate mix in there. I'm going to put enough water in here for about a cup and a half. That's, I don't know how many ounces. I forget. This is about an 8-ounce cup. There's some. There's a little more. Ooh, maybe no, there's more than one bug in there. Cut. All right, let's try that again. There was some bugs in there. I should have checked that. My fault. So we've got a cup. We got a little extra. We're already running short because I goofed. So we'll set this aside. Now, let's see how we're going to do this. Get this out of the way. We'll put that right there. We'll take this like this. And this is the simmer ring for said alcohol stove. We won't be using that today. I don't need it right now. But that is a good thing. And I know that what I was doing with these things is, honestly, I was comparing it to my beer can homemade stoves. And they work great, but they're usually sitting in an Esbot stove. So they got a windbreak per se. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to cheat. I'm not going to use a fail rod and show off. We're just going to use an old match. And I heard it go poof. We'll blow that out, and now we'll simply put that over it like that. Oh yeah, it's absolutely cooking. We'll take that like that. Ooh, don't do that. We'll put this up here like that. And the time on deck is 10 minutes after 3. Let me write that down because I know I'll forget. All right, so we got that. Now I don't really want to bore you with this, so what we'll do is we'll go through the MRE and what's in my attaché bag, right? All right. So what we got here is, this was in here like this. What we have in here is, down in here I've got a spoon and batteries. Here I got an Esbot stove with some heat tabs, just in case. I always have a plan B, right? Got some ink pens, got an air gauge, got a couple of Sharpies. Up here in the top, these are lenses for my camera cage. You know, like polarized lenses, a ND4, an ND8, and a fluorescent one, and I don't know, I'd have to open it up and look. Here's our MRE goulash. Menu number 22. Part of it's in there and part of it's here. I had to break it down to get it into the bag. Okay. And then here in this pouch, I got a charging bank. This is the case for my microphones. Cleaning gear in that pocket. So we'll put that back in like this. We'll put that back in. This can go in there. We'll just kind of put that like that. We'll just kind of set that right there. Nope. Actually, I see that as an accident waiting to happen. We'll put that right there. And let's see what we got in here. Of course, we have our genuine government brown spoon. We have our orange beverage drink, which I will not be drinking today. I've drank it before. It's good. It tastes kind of like Tang, but it's got sugar in it. It's not the sugar-free Tang. And it's got a little more sugar in it than necessary, but it's a high-energy drink. That's why it's that way. It's 130 calories in that drink right there. Okay, here we got our little bag of goodies, a book of matches, some salt, handy wipe, toilet paper, and of course some gum. Standard issue, right? This right here is the beef goulash. Excuse me. Here's our heater. Beef, says beef goulash, beef with brown rice, spinach, carrots, tomatoes, and smoked paprika. 240 calories, 70 from fat. Total fat grams 8. Saturated fat 2.5 grams, and the rest of it, I guess, is a mystery. Cholesterol 45 milligrams. Sodium 1060. Yeah, it's kind of high, but if you're out there doing stuff that's hard, you need it. Carbohydrates 25 grams, 4 grams of fiber, 4 grams of sugar, 17 grams of protein. That's pretty good. And a little bit of vitamin C, a little bit of iron, calcium, and a buttload of vitamin A. Okay, well, that's all good. So we'll set that right there. And over here in the other half, we have, whoop, I hate it when that happens. We have strawberry jam, which is excellent. We have some chunky peanut butter. We have some Zapple sauce. It's basically applesauce with maltodextrin, so extra energy, whatever. It's a high carbohydrate applesauce. Won't be eating it today. I'll be saving that for later, like when the weather warms up. Patriotic sugar cookies and bread. So we'll see how that works. I'm pretty sure these cookies are probably nothing but crumbs. It seems like that's kind of how that works. But is what it is, right? They're still good, even if you got to eat them with a spoon. And this applesauce, I mean, applesauce. You can't go wrong. I mean, I would say it would be impossible to mess up applesauce. So let's put that over here. Wow. That looks like it's just about boiling, and it's only been about 5 minutes, maybe. Okay. Well, let's see what I can do with this. Can I rip it? I doubt it. Not even going to try. It's just easier this way. Okay. Yeah, that shit's boiling in like 5 minutes, and that's probably, I don't know, 12 ounces of water maybe. I honestly don't know. All right, open up. Open sesame. There we go. Nope. All right. Don't try this at home, guys. I'm a trained professional. There we go. All right, so now we got to put just a little squirt of water in here. It's important to not overfill it, right? Well, close enough. And now what I'm going to do is roll it around. I've seen where guys roll these things around a little bit before you put your entree in there. And it's supposed to help get this thing cooking. So now we're going to fold the edges over, right? Oh, this thing's steaming, definitely. Okay. Oh, yeah, we're cooking it fast. Dude, that thing's hot. Okay. Get all the way down in there. Fold it over. Put your sleeve over it, right? and lean it against a rock or something. So we'll just set it up there for right now. That is definitely cooking. So what I'm going to do is pull out my regulation spoon. Excuse me here. Pour in my Swiss Miss. And now this is what's nice. Instead of grabbing it with a pair of gloves and having the heat transfer and all that good stuff, we can just kind of do it like this. Now you watch out, Shadow. Man, look at that thing burn. Awesome flame. Okay, let's just put that there for right now. I might need a little bit more. Yippers. So we'll say we put that meat goulash in at 20 after. We'll pour just a little bit more in here. Okay, we'll set that there. Set that there. And for those of you that don't know, these things have a rubber O-ring. Never ever use your O-ring to put out the fire. Take your snuffer cup and just set it over there. It will drown it right out. And this is boiling water. So, all right, I'm going to turn this off. I'll turn it back on when my lunch is hot. All right, guys, so I'm going to cut this short. So the stove actually impressed me. Inside my shop with no wind, inside my homemade stove, it boiled about 1.5 cups of water, probably around 12 ounces or so, in 5 minutes, approximately. All right, so that's not too bad. I think I got a wiener here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to enjoy this. And when my goulash is hot, I'll turn the camera back on and I'll tell you what I think of it. It either tastes good or it sucks. I don't know. And I don't believe I have hot sauce with me, so I hope it tastes good. With that being said, we're out.